Yo, this your boy, Higher Knowledge 777. Today on Higher Knowledge TV HD1, we'll be talking about a particular topic that a lot of so-called black people don't like to talk about. The topic of the day is why black people are so hypocritical. Why are black people so hypocritical? Live in the days and times where you have a lot of so-called black people, right? And they will always talk about the white man this, the white man that, the white man did this, the white man did that, the Asian man did this, the Asian woman did that, the Asian people did this, and all these other cultures and all these other people. But then the so-called all these other races of people they like to talk about, and when other races of people do a certain thing, they like to point out that it's wrong, they shouldn't be doing it. But then when black people do the same exact thing that the so-called when they do the same exact thing, then everyone wants to all the so-called black people likes to put down and like to criticize and condemn each other to hell. I'm here to tell you that I'm here to tell you people that you black people need to stop with the hypocritical things. And what a lot of so-called Israelites like to do, and I'm mainly talking to the so-called Israelites that say they're in the truth. They like to uh, they like to say certain things that are out of terms and out of line. Check this out. For instance, a lot of Israelites like saying the white man is the reason why the black man is without a job. Now they'll say that and say the white man is the reason why the so-called black man was without a job. Oh, last time I checked, you are in control of your own destiny. A lot of people like to put a lot of they like to do whatever they want to do. They don't like to follow truth. They don't like to spread love and favor and show the love of Christ. They don't like showing the love of Christ. So what they'll say is they'll jump to a conclusion and they'll say, "Oh well, the white man is the reason why all this stuff is happening." Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to stop. How can I say? It's time for you so-called black men and you black women to stop being so racist your darn self. Now, a lot of pro black people that have hate for other cultures, they will put their problems on other cultures and saying they're the reason why they did this. Now, don't get me wrong. History shows that some stuff has been embedded in us. I'm not doubting that. But you have situations where people like to put their problems on other people as if it's their problem when it's not really their problem. See, as a real man and as a real woman, you have to take personal accountability. You can't just put blame on individuals when it's not their fault. For instance, so-called black people always like to say, well, the white man is the reason why we're in this problem of debt in our society, when that is far away from the truth. The true reason why we're in debt in our society, and mainly I'm talking to the black community. The reason why the black community is in debt is because every other culture and races of people, they invest in money, they invest in stock, they invest in their history, when you so-called blacks don't even do it. Every other culture of people have their own schools, have their own education. They fund it themselves. They start their own businesses, and they keep this businesses going for generations and generations and generations. And then the stock and the wealth of the businesses grow. But the so-called black man and black woman, once they get their tax money, or whenever they get any big lump sum of money from anything, they like to run to the stores, they like to spend their money, they like to go crazy, they like buying PlayStations and Xboxes and all this other crazy stuff. And to understand where I'm going with this, they like to put all the blame on everyone else instead of accepting personal accountability for what we have done to ourselves. I'm tired, and a lot of people like using this as a crutch. It's 2014. Yes, I know. History has happened. Yes, I know that we cannot take back nothing that happened. Yes, I know whatever happened in the past was bad. Yes, I know. But history can also rewrite itself. And what history is rewriting itself is we have a bunch of people, I would say the 75 percenters. You have the 75 percenters that like to put blame on other people and say that they're the problem for what is happening to our people, where in fact that they really are indirectly of the problem. See, the real problem is us. The real problem is us. The hypocrisy in the black community. The hypocrisy when people say they want to lose, let's say a person want to lose 30 pounds, right? And so another person of another culture, you know, black person will tell another person of another culture, you don't need to eat this, you don't need to eat that, or you don't need to eat that. But the same person that's telling another person not to eat this and not to eat that, they will eat this, they will eat that, they will eat the other, they will do this, they will do that, they will do the same exact thing they done told other people not to do, and they're doing it their darn self. That's what the Bible was talking about with hypocrisy. Hypocrisy in the black community. Okay? I done destroyed that myth right there. Okay? Another thing. A lot of black people likes to, and this is pertaining to the sisters here. When a black man dates outside of his race, which is a new video series I'm going to be doing, exposing the dynamic of interracial relationships and how this is going to be something of the future, and everyone's going to have to really understand, and they're going to have to get in where they fit in. And a lot of people, they basically sum it up, anyone can date whoever they want to. I want to get that put out of the way. If a black man wants to date a white woman, go ahead, do it. I mean, who in the hell can tell you who not to date? You can date anybody. And for all you people that like twisting Bible strips and like twisting stuff, listen, the Most High never said that you cannot date outside of your race. A lot of you brothers and sisters like twisting Bible strips for your own understanding. The Bible simply said to not lean to your own understanding. Not lean to your own understanding. The Bible also says that God is love. See, I understand that there's people that have bad intentions, but that's in every race. You see. And here's another thing about hypocrisy in the black community that I don't like. We will blame a white guy for shooting a black guy when the black guy was either robbing, either getting in a heated argument, either acting real foolish and devilish. We will blame the white guy for shooting the black guy. But I don't see no pro-black people protesting about the gang shootings of black on blacks going on in California. I don't see no pro-black people talking about the black on black killings that's going on in Chicago, aka Chirac or Afghanistan. I'm not seeing no pro-black people talking about the gang on gang killings that's going on in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm not seeing nobody talking about the gang on gang killings that's going on in Memphis, Tennessee. I don't see no pro-black people talking about the gang on gang killings in New York. I don't see no one talking about the gang on gang killings that's going on in the world, period. So why you hypocrite black people always like to put blame on other cultures for your problems? That, okay, it's 2014, it's time for us to start taking a little bit of personal accountability for what we have done to ourselves, because we did it. We done it to ourselves. We are the ones that have created this monster, which is the ratchetness, and we have to get rid of the monster of this ratchetness. A lot of you black people not gonna like what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying. You're probably gonna flag the video. You're probably gonna unsubscribe. You're gonna do all this crazy stuff, and that's okay, because the show will go on. But with that said, anyone that comes with any negative or foolish talking is gonna get blocked, deleted, or banned. It's simple as that. I just want to point that out because, see, European people, when they're talking and when they disagree to agree, they know how to disagree and agree without conflict, without violence, without any violent or negative outcome of situations. But when so-called black man, the so-called black woman, because you're really not black, them are names that was put on to you by corporate America to keep you dumbed down, to keep you thinking that you're really from Africa, which is a lie also. The so-called Negroes, 85% of the so-called Negroes that was on cargo slave ships that were put into slavery, that came to the United States, you're not black. You're not African. You're none of these phony terms. You're an Israelite. Let me get that straight. You're a Israelite. You're one of the lost tribes of the original Israelites. None of these lies about your African this and that. Most African people don't even like the so-called blacks that are in America. Why? It's because they are of a different breed of people. See, what people need to understand is that whether you like it or not, people not gonna like you. It's as simple as that. People are not gonna like you. You got people that don't like me for various reasons. Do I care? No. You got people that hate other people for various reasons. Do they care? Mainly no. Them reasons you can't control. Them reasons you just gotta, you know, suck it up. Um, just move on and just try to go on with the show. Because if you keep on dwelling on things, it'll get to you, and then furthermore, you start having a whole bunch of resentment, a whole bunch of hatred, and you start getting filled with pride and start getting filled with evil spirits that is not of Christ, and then you start feeling yourself to start sinning. The Bible says when a man gets mad, he do not supposed to sin. That's what the Bible says. But the so-called blacks, woman and black man, they think because someone calls you outside of your name, you're supposed to get mad and fight. No. The proper procedure is to turn a deaf ear. You see, because if we start letting the Most High fight some of our battles, and we stop trying to fight some of our battles our darn self, then more things will start panning out for the favor of us. See, it's because a lot of people is in hypocrisy. The black community is in hypocrisy. Black women, you want a good man. You want a good man that respects you. You want a good man that's going to take care of you. But then you're twerking online. You're showing your butt off on Facebook. You're sending nude picture messages on Instagram. You're at the club every Saturday, Friday night when you're supposed to be following the biblical Sabbath, because the biblical Sabbath was on a Saturday. When you're supposed to be following the biblical Sabbath, you rather go to the club, shake your behind, make it rain, toss a couple bottles of alcohol back, get drunk. You meet a brother at the club, he takes you back to the crib, you have sex with him. You don't remember what happened. And the reason why you don't remember what happened because you done drunk so much, you just sloppy drunk. You get raped by 4 or 5 guys. The next morning, you wake up, you're in the hospital. You wake up and the doctors are all around you, and they're telling you that you got raped and this and that happened to you. A couple weeks later, you find out that you're pregnant, and you don't know who the baby father is. Who's to blame for that? Is the white man to blame for it? No. Is the Asian man blamed for it? No. Is the Native American, the Indians, are they to blame for that? No. Is the Somalis, are they to blame for that? No. Even the Africans, are the Africans to blame for that? No. Who is to blame for it? It's you. Why? It's because you chose to go somewhere that the Most High permitted you not to even go. See, a lot of you people, you got your priorities mixed up. You like to put your problems and blames on people that don't have nothing to do with what's going on. See, now they done got on the sisters about their foolish clubbing. Let's get on the brothers. Okay. You black men, alright? You grow up, okay? You're 15 years old, right? you want to get known by a lot of people. You want to you want to get money. You want to do that, this, and want to do that. Um, you try to get a job. They say that you're too young. Okay. They say that in order for you to work, you have to attend. You have to attend school. You have to have perfect attendance. You have to have no write-ups or anything. Okay. You have to go to the school counselor or the your teacher or someone that's in your school, like a teacher or something, to get a work permit. All right. You don't get a work permit because you think it's a waste of time. Okay. Um, you don't get a work permit, but you see these guys standing on a corner. You see these guys flashing money. You see these guys having big wads of money, right? And so you talk to these guys, and these guys said, in order for you to get down, you have to shoot this guy or stab this guy, or you have to rob this person. You go do it like a dumb fool. You're 15 years old, all right? You get caught. The cops put the handcuffs on you. Uh, you go to court for it. You catch 25 years. You have to do a mandatory 15 years. Your mom is crying. She's like, my baby boy this and my baby boy that. Now, whose fault is it that the son got locked up? Is it the mom's fault? No. And that's another thing. A lot of people like blaming their moms when they get in trouble. No, it's not your mom's fault. It's your fault. You know right from wrong. Is it the father's fault? No. No, it's not. Again, a lot of people like putting the blame on their family when their family has nothing to do with the situation. Is it the white man's fault? No. Is it the Somalis' fault? No. Is it the Indians / Native Americans' fault? No. Is it the Asians? No. Is it the Puerto Rican and Mexican and we could go on and on. The El Salvador's. Is it their fault? No. Whose fault of it? It's your fault, black man. Because instead of you going through the right procedures of carving out your own destiny by doing the right procedures that they tell you to do to get a job, when you're young, you mess your future up. See, a lot of you brothers mess up your future before your future ever starts. And so when you're 15 years old, you catch a felony, you gotta do 15 years, okay? You're 15, right? Okay, by the time you get out, you be around 30, 35 years old, somewhere around there. Just going off the top of my head, and somewhere around there, you're 35 years old. You never worked, you never had a job, you don't have a license, you don't have a car, you don't have your own house, you don't have your own crib. You living at your mom's house. Your mom is 40 or 50 years old. She's retired. She's about to enter senior citizens. She can't work. Okay, her disability or her social security or whatever money that she's got coming in only pays for a certain amount of money just for her to live. But you're back home. She's struggling. She has to be forced to go back into working to take care of you because you don't have a job and you're around 30 years old, and for her to keep the household up, she has to work because of you. Whose fault that is? It's both of you's fault. It's the mom's fault for letting her baby boy move back to the house knowing that he doesn't have a job or anything, and you better do it because that's just your son. You're gonna have to. Some of you women, black women, that's raising these boys, that's going out here getting in the gangs, drug dealing, y'all have to let that stuff go. Serious as that. Any of these brothers that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, that's not trying to help themselves, you're gonna have to let it go. Same thing goes with some of you men. You got these daughters. You tell your daughter, don't go out there and get pregnant. These boys, they only want to sleep with you because you got, what they want in your pants. The girl goes out there and do it anyway. She's wind up pregnant. She She winds up pregnant, and she wants to blame everybody. No, you can't blame everybody. It's your fault for winding up pregnant because you're the one that you're the one that you're the one that sleeping around. You see, it's not no one's fault but your fault. The hypocrisy in the black community is high because the ignorance in the black community is high. Nobody wants to take personal accountability for nothing anymore. All I see is black people blaming the Barack Obama for what they're going through. Listen, we had problems before Barack Obama came in office. Stop trying to put your problems on a brother that the problems didn't even the problems was already here before he even got in office. You see, a lot of people like putting the blame on movies. Yeah, I know people watch movies and they like to do what happens in movies, but you can't put the blame on movies because you're the individual. You carve out your own destiny. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of hypocrisy going on in the black community. You don't hear white people talking about the reason why this and that, the other is happening because of other races of people. No, they take personal accountability and they go about it with their lives and they try to figure something out. You don't see Indians, the Native Americans doing it. No, because they take personal accountability and they try to do something and try to go on with their lives. You don't see no other culture of people trying to put their problems on other cultures of people. You don't see it. You don't see it is because it's not right. You don't see it because it's just ignorance. You don't see it is because it's foolish. Any person that will put their problems on other people that has nothing to do with whatever is transpired is not their problem. It's your problem. Now, if those people exist or help or try to do better by you, then that is a different story. And you should open that with open arms. And that's a blessing that people try to help because that's showing that the love of Christ is within them. Because the Bible says, he who loves my brother loves God, but he who hates my brother and despises and speak against and deceit against my brother, then the love of God is not within him because the love, the you cannot have hate in your heart and love Christ. You can't. It's impossible. A lot of y'all people, y'all talk about y'all love God, y'all love the Messiah and this and that, the other. Y'all love Christ and everything, but then you always talking about white folks did this to us, white folks did that to us. I mean, it's like throwing salt water in open wounds. I mean, I personally think there is a large majority of them nations of people understand that they did wrong by black folks, and they're trying to uh, give them respect and trying to get along with them in society. See, a lot of Israelites like to be racist, you see, but that's not the love of God. The love of God is showing brotherly love to whomever and whenever. As long as they're not demonic, as long as they're not, they're not unequally yoked, as long as they're not committing any abominations, as long as they are showing you respect, you're supposed to show them respect, regardless of what ethnicity, what color, regardless of what culture they come from. As long as they treating you with respect, you're supposed to treat them with respect. And that is the true love of Christ, showing love to others. So I covered a lot of the boogeyman myths that a lot of people, blacks, like to throw out there. So-called blacks that are really Israelites, but don't have the knowledge to understand that they are, or don't do the proper research of their own origins. You have to start understanding that regardless of what you think, you're going to have to understand that there are going to be people that like you or dislike you. Don't care about the people that dislike you. They shouldn't even matter. They shouldn't even be in your world. The matter that your haters. Your haters is the reason why you're still here. They give you the strength to keep on going on, or to keep on striving on. Your haters should be your motivation. I'm not talking about them. But what I'm talking about is we need to start understanding that the Most High is all about love. Without love, you are lacking major critical credentials that you need in your walk with Christ. Without love, you are lost. Without love, you're probably a sinner. You're probably committing all kind of sin, all kind of abominations. You're probably just living just unholy and just a holy mess. Without love, you are nothing. The love of Christ is showing love to others. Also, I need to point out the love of God also is following the commandments. See, a lot of you black people, right? You like other cultures to show you love, but you don't show love to other cultures, you see. You talk about other cultures being rude or being racist or doing this and doing that, but then you're racist and you're doing this and you're doing that. You can't be a hypocrite. That's what the Bible tells us not to be. Not only to be hearers, but to be doers also. Not only walk by sight, but to walk by faith. This is the black people are so hypocritical. Why are black people so hypocritical when it comes to various issues, various topics? You know, I had a Facebook discussion, right? And I was asking a question. I was like, why black women hate truth? Because a lot of black women hate truth. I posted online, and in the post I said, why do black women hate Tony Sotomayor? Because the brother always talking about how we need to stop wearing, how black women should stop wearing weave. He was talking about how black men need to change. He was talking about a various amount of issues that's going on in the community that needs to stop. Do you think black women would take it with a grain of salt and understand? No. Would you think that they would listen without jumping to conclusions and see what things are? No. What they did was they spoke against the brother. They talked it negatively about the brother. They they made death threats and all kind of stuff against the brother. I'm here to tell you that that is not what people of the Most High are supposed to do. So in my topic, I posted the picture or whatever, why black women are so mad at the guy that speaks so much truth. Because once you start speaking truth and you start doing stuff, people start trying to come against you. This is how it works. People will try to come against you because they just want to come against you. And so this guy, he brought up interracial dating, and I said, you can date whoever you want as long as the person respects you, knows you, and as long as y'all love each other, you can date whoever you want. Why does it matter who you date if they're outside of your race? I don't understand why people get mad about it. I mean, there's nowhere biblically in the book that tells you can't date other people of other races. Yes, you can. I mean, yes, you can. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that it's a sin. A lot of people like carving up scriptures and like making things say things that they don't even say. And that is what is called false teachings from people. And one brother posted a couple strings of comments about you don't supposed to be dating others of other races. And that's where I stopped and understand that black people, and this is a black guy that posts these comments, but black people are the most racist ones of all. And we always talk about how white people do this and do that. And don't get me wrong, it's wrong that they do such things. But it's wrong that people don't understand that you gotta stop being so close-minded and wake up to the truth. And the truth is that as long as they're respectful to you, they understand where you come from, there's nothing wrong with you dating anyone outside of your race. I know history has happened, things has happened, but you can't have hatred in your heart. So I think I covered a lot of what I wanted to cover in this video. If I left out something, I'll make an additional video, or I might make just another video series, because I'm going to start getting into making video series. But then again, there's a lot of people that just don't like truth. They don't like truth. They don't like when people speak right. They don't like it. And them people, just pray for them. That's all you can do at the end of the day. So, to all black people, stop being hypocrites. The old saying says, if you do unto others as you want done unto you, if you don't want people hating or speaking foolish or vainless or evil of you, you should try not to do it to others also. If you don't want people to be racist to you, you shouldn't be racist to others. If you don't want people to say negative things about you, you shouldn't say negative things about other people. And start showing a little bit more self-respect and respect. This is Higher Knowledge TV. I'm signing out. So long. Peace.